Welcome to this episode of YouTube where we wanted to acknowledge the Working for Wolves crew that brought in a lot of enrichment items a couple of weeks ago. It seems like it was just yesterday. Those enrichment items are important for stimulating the wolves, certainly during viewing hours to allow people to see them from the window, but also mentally and physically, really, getting the wolves up and active when they may be more sedentary in the summer heat. So we always make sure that we cool them off, but it is fun to see their response to the enrichment items. This is Grayson sentineling. That was Rika defending and guarding. So most of the enrichments are food driven, so there's things to eat, but sometimes the enrichments may be scent driven, which does stimulate that scent marking behavior. So on the 4th of July, we brought in snow that the Working for Wolves crew in April had actually collected in pails, and then we used Gatorade, flavored Gatorade, and the red coloration was most exciting. Also, we're getting ready for pup introduction, so people might be watching the pack a little bit, and I want to identify the two Arctic wolves, and Grayson was doing the scent marking there. And if you look at the two Arctics, Grayson's precaudal tail gland, or the black scent gland, at kind of a couple inches down from the base of his tail, is darker than Axel. So when you're trying to tell the two apart, Grayson was the one scent rolling, Grayson was the one who was raised leg urinating, and then Axel here comes over to sniff that red snow cone, if I find a better term for it. It did seem like there was no interest in the blue snow cone, so again, these are all probably not true reflective natures of raspberry versus blueberry, but it was interesting. Last year was more enriching when we did this, but then it was also a fire season. It was hot, it was dry. The day of the 4th of July here was moderately cool, in the high 60s, and so snow cones are not as exciting when it's 60. So the pups get enrichment as well. So the Working for Wolves team that was here in June brought some snake skins and utilized some snake skins as an enrichment, and that's a very common thing for us to use. Also some moose liver inside that snake skins. So this is Blackstone, and we are seeing, again, very well adjusted pups to the routine. Kaz sleeping over in the sun a little bit. We see very good interactions between the two male pups. Certainly we know that bonding between littermates is probably strongest, and we also are seeing very tractable pups towards the human component. So ever since COVID, we've been bringing, we had pups right last year, we have these pups this year. We've been doing pup programs with people coming out the building, and that's really improved, I would say, the pups' response to the human component. And again, they're born in a captive environment, and that's where they stay. So we want to make sure that the exposure of the public exhibit is not too overwhelming. So as you can see here, Blackstone using one of the enrichment items that was a bison hide as a pillow. So also the little disc there. So we had our 4th of July. We did have a deer fawn that was brought out. Abby and Maddie were on shift. Taz had a little response there. I'm not sure if it was the sound or the bugs. Certainly the fawn was very stimulating, so you can hear that sound. We are keeping them out overnight, trying to get them to kind of taper off from the building, getting them away from the toys, having them sleep in an environment that's more likely to be what they're going to be doing here in the upcoming introduction in the exhibit. We are going to tentatively bring Rika into the pack holding area next week and have some one-to-one time with Rika and a pups without Axel and Grayson, and we'll be sharing that footage at the Full Moon webinar on July 13th at 7 p.m. if you want to register and see how that goes. That's the first part of the introduction. We do have to be mindful that times are changing. The prolactin hormone is dissipating as we get closer to the fall. We want to make sure that we're timing this appropriately. This is Rika testing Axel. Axel's trying to get out of cache, and his tail is tucked. He's pretty defensive. So the longer we wait, the more problematic it can be for the adults being a little bit more defensive of things, as well as hormones increasing. We are seeing Rika and Grayson working together in some cases towards Axel with some overt dominance. Certainly Pup Edition is going to change the dynamics of this pack, and we look forward to having an opportunity for behavioral teams. We're trying to get that information out right now, but we definitely will have virtual behavioral teams watching the cameras, helping us keep track of the pup introduction and the new formation of the 2022 exhibit pack. Thanks for watching.